SASSA will once again open its system for approved applicants to change their preferred method of payment for the special COVID-19 social relief or distress grant. The window period is scheduled for Monday 31 August to Sunday 6 September 2020, 24 hours a day. Totsie Memela is CEO of the South African Social Securities Agency, SASSA. She joins us now. Very good evening to you. Thank you so much for speaking to us. So talk to us about, during this period, beneficiaries, can they change from receiving their grants at the post office where they'll be receiving them?
Yes, definitely they can. It's important to highlight why we ended up having to pay a number of clients through the post office. It was again because clients were not loading their preference in terms of them being able to be paid into their bank accounts. And one does understand that if you are unemployed, it's difficult for one to have a bank account. But now we have a interesting opportunity that we can be able to pay people through the bank in terms of the e-wallet or the cash send. But it is only for those people who has got cell phones that have been recarded. Because if your cell phone is not recarded, we can't pay you through e-cash because it could create a lot of risk whereby we could be paying wrong people. So it's important for our clients to load their own bank accounts. You can't load somebody else's bank account or to change the method of preference. And if you prefer a bank, please make sure that it's your cell phone number and it is recorded, because if it's not, we can't pay into it. But we will continue to pay also through the post office.
But what does this effectively mean, that you can change from one bank to another?
No, if you change from one bank to another, it doesn't have any negative effect, except that we still have to do a validation process, because in many instances, when clients actually load their bank account details, they load a wrong bank account because with the finger errors that happen, we then would send it to what you call to National Treasury for them to validate the bank account, and then we pay into that bank account.
Okay, so how can approved beneficiaries change the payment method? What do they have to do exactly?
Okay, process that they use, they go to the website, which is http those two dots /srd.sassa.gov.za. They go onto that platform. When they get to the platform, they say they will then choose as to what do they want to do. Then they say, I want to check bank account details, and then they will then go and change it will then take them into a secured platform, because we can't take people's bank accounts into a platform that is not safe. It will take them into a secured platform. They will then put their name details, and then it will then give them an SMS back that indicates that those details have been accepted.
So how does this development address challenges that some beneficiaries have experienced, especially in trying to access their special relief grant?
Well, I think the challenge that we continue to try and address is a challenge whereby, because as you know, we use a range of databases to validate the clients to make sure that there's no double dipping, that they are not receiving a grants from anywhere else. What we are finding is instances where clients are saying, yes, you say you validated my details and that I exist in the UIF database, or I exist anywhere else, but actually I am not employed and I'm not receiving any grant. Those are the clients that we are now taking through the appeals process so that we can double check as to what else is, because we use the database that we get from all our different partners. So that's one challenge that we're experiencing, where people are saying, no, you're incorrect in terms of your claim, but our claim is based on the database that we have. The other challenge that we have is the fact that we've just gone through an initial assessment by the AG to make sure that there is no double dipping. And we found that there are some clients that actually are sitting in other databases, which creates an exciting opportunity for us as government to make sure that we clean up our databases, but also to make sure that they're all up to date, so that we don't create frustrations for clients.
Okay. So you mentioned e-banking earlier on, but what other ways can people do it? What if a client doesn't have a bank account or mobile phone?
If you don't have a bank account or mobile phone, then we can pay you through the post office. Because when you go to the post office, you go with your ID, and then you'll be able to get your money.
Okay. But what happens if you don't update your information during this window period? Or even provide incorrect banking details?
No, if you provide incorrect banking details, it therefore means that we will revert back and pay you again through the post office. And we understand that the queues are a challenge for people. Hence, we're giving people an opportunity to have a wider range of payment platforms. And we are continuing to investigate other platforms with the knowledge that it's only another 2 months of us paying this grant because we don't have a commitment from government that will continue with this. So in the next 2 months, we will be completing the process.
All right. Thank you so much for speaking to us, Totsie Memela, CEO of the South African Social Securities Agency, SASSA.